Hey guys, welcome back to the video. So this time it's not gonna be a one-to-one interaction, but I'm gonna start a new series called Weekly Travel Update. So if you're an Indian traveler and you're planning to travel for an international trip, then this is the video that you wanted to watch. So every week I'm going to bring you the biggest travel updates that actually matter to Indians, be it your visa changes, visa free destination, couple of immigration rules, travel restrictions, new travel schemes, and some deals that you can used to get to save some money, right? And this week there are really interesting updates. Thailand has changed its visa free policy. Abu Dhabi has launched a very interesting visa offer specifically for Indian travelers. Europe is introducing new border systems, as you would have known, right? And I've also got a few destinations that you should keep on your radar. So let's get straight into it, right? So Thailand, the biggest international destination for Indians. I know a lot of Indians watching this are either planning to travel to Thailand or have already been there. So and there are quite a lot of confusion around Thailand's visa rules over the last few months. So let me kind of simplify it for you guys, right? So Thailand has approved a change that brings the visa exempt stay for Indian tourists down to 30 days. Before it used to be 60 days, as you all know. There's a lot of confusion regarding like the amount of Thai baht that you need to carry. So some says like you don't need anything. Some says you want to carry like 10k, 20k Thai baht. So the actual thing is, if you are a solo traveler, you need to have 10k Thai baht handy, not dollars, not your Indian rupee. You need to have Thai baht itself with you. And if you don't have, you will be questioned, you'll be stopped, and you'll be asked to go back, right? Second thing is making sure your hotel booking is already done and making sure that you have a proper itinerary, right? So that is key for you guys. If not, you will have complications getting through the immigration, right? So I was there 2 weeks back in Thailand, so I had a pretty smooth immigration and no questions asked. So a video is gonna come regarding that shortly, but then that's how it is. So if you are seeing headlines saying things like Thailand removes visa entry for Indians, do not panic, guys. So that's not the right way to understand the update. The bigger change is the length of the stay, not the complete removal of visa free tourism, right? And honestly, for most of the Indian tourists, this may not make much difference. If you're going to Bangkok, Phuket, Krabi, or Pattaya for a holiday, most of people don't stay beyond 60 days, right? So yeah, for a normal 1 week, 2 week, or even 3 week Thailand holiday, you are still within the proposed 30 days limit. So my advice is simple. If you're traveling to Thailand, so don't rely on any old article saying like 60 days. Check the latest Thai immigration information before you fly, especially if your trip is longer than 30 days, right? Now, this is actually an interesting one, right? So, Abu Dhabi free UAE visa for Indian travelers, right? So, most of you all would have heard this. So Abu Dhabi. So another interesting news for this week is, you all would have heard free UAE visa for Indian travelers, right? So now here's probably the most exciting travel story of the week. Abu Dhabi has launched a new tourism initiative specifically targeting Indian travelers. Majority of the Middle East travelers are actually from India. Like, let's say, if, at least in the first top three, if you kind of look into them, it's always Indians. And under this program, eligible Indian tourists can have the UAE entry visa costs covered when they book a qualifying Abu Dhabi holiday, right? So there's a lot of terms and condition tied to that. But now, before you get excited and book your flight ticket, there's an important clarification, guys. This does not mean that the UAE has suddenly become visa free for all Indians. You still need a UAE entry visa. The difference is that under this particular promotion, the visa cost can be covered if you meet certain conditions. So now there's the catch there. The program is running from August 1st until October 31st this year, 2026, and the initial program is expected to support up to 20,000 visas. That's not much. So, you got to try your luck, right? And there are also conditions like I mentioned. For example, eligible booking need to include a minimum 3 night stay in an Abu Dhabi hotel along with a return flight from India, and the booking needs to meet the program requirement, right? So this is something I would definitely check if you are already thinking about visiting Dubai or Abu Dhabi. So But again, don't call this a UAE is a new visa free for Indians. The correct headline is eligible Indian travelers can get their UAE visa fee covered under this particular program. And that's a very different thing, guys. I've been hearing a lot of people are talking about the Malaysia visa has changed for Indians. The dates has been increased, or they're kind of scrapping it out. But according to the latest information listed by Indian Ministry of External Affairs, guys, the passport holders of India still can enter Malaysia visa free up to 30 days throughout this year. And this is exactly the kind of destination I think Indians should keep up on their radar, right? And I think there's a sale going on right now. As soon as you see this video, uh, August 2nd and 3rd week, you actually have, like, you can travel to Malaysia for half the price. So there's a sale going on. Go Ibibo. Make sure that you go and check that out. Let's say if your one side ticket is like 14K, you put the code, and then you will get the price for half. So you put the code. I'm not sharing the code live, upfront here. Just ping me, or just drop a comment in the comment box. I'm just gonna let you know what the code is, guys. So let's say your flight ticket is 14,000. You put the code, and you're gonna get that, the whole trip for like half the price, which is like 7,000. So just let me know, yeah. And you have got Kuala Lumpur, Langkawi, Penang. There's a lot of other places beyond Kuala Lumpur, guys, like Malacca, and there's a lot of cuisines that you can find there. So this is the right time to go to Malaysia, and because you don't have to go through a traditional tourist visa application, right? This is number one, destination that I would say if you really wanted to go and enjoy, right? There's another, hot topic that's happening around the Europe, right? So new border systems and what exactly is changing. Now let's talk about Europe. You may have heard that there are two terms floating around. You guys might be wondering, like, what is EES and what is ETIAS? And honestly, there's a lot of kind of confusion between these two. So let's make it really clear, right? So the entry exit system, which is the EES, is Europe's new digital border system. Instead of relying entirely on traditional passport stamps, the system records entries and exits electronically and uses a biometric information, which means you're not going to get the stamp, right? So the new system is about how your entry and exit are recorded at the border. Then there is ETIAS. This is a travel authorization designed for travelers from countries that can visit the relevant European countries without a visa. And this is where Indian travelers often get confused. If you're traveling on an Indian passport and you need a Schengen visa, you don't suddenly apply for ETIAS instead. So if you are planning for a Europe trip, your main focus should be still applying that Schengen visa, guys, and the new border procedures. Europe is essentially becoming more digital, and travelers should expect more biometric and electronic border processing. So if you are traveling to Europe later this year or anytime, this year, don't be surprised if the airport experience look a little bit different from your previous trips, right? Well, there's another interesting destination, people have been talking about, that is Philippines. The kind of challenges they are going through, the floods, a lot of natural calamities, and people are talking about the changes that's happening. Guys, trust me, there's no changes in the Philippines. We still have a 14-day visa free for Indians, but there's a lot of conditions if you want to kind of expand beyond that, right? You need to have a valid visa of US, UK, Canada, Schengen countries, or Singapore, right? And then you can have it for like 30 days, right? So what I would kind of recommend you all to go start is from probably Manila, and then Manila to Cebu, and Cebu to Palawan, and from there you can go to El Nido, and then Boracay, a beautiful place. So that's how you got to plan your trip, guys. So make it worth it. I think this is the right time, right climate as well, if you guys want to travel. So yeah, another beautiful destination for you all to travel. So guys, there's another interesting update regarding South Africa. They have introduced a 48 hours, ETA for Indian travelers. So, and this is probably one of the most useful visa update for Indian travelers uh, who are visiting to Cape Town or wanting to visit Cape Town, Johannesburg, or any part of South Africa, right? Especially the safari, right? So South Africa has introduced an electronic travel authorization, or ETA, for eligible Indian travelers. So the biggest advantage is that the application can now be completed online instead of going through the traditional visa processes, and it's going to take you around 24 to 48 hours for the applicants. This is a big improvement comparing to what we used to have in the traditional visa. Instead of dealing with a lot of paperwork, this has eliminated all that. So finally, friends, no more airport transit visa for Indians, guys. Here's the latest update that could be really useful if you frequently look for cheaper flights to Europe, North America, or any international other destinations, right? So France has removed the airport transit visa requirement for Indian passport holders from 10th of April. This does not mean you can use France as a way to enter France without a visa. That's not possible. Most of the time, you can find like flights like 5,000 to 10,000 cheaper, and really you could make that extra push to travel other countries, right? So this is a really good upgrade and a really good advantage for the Indian travelers. That's everything for this week's travel update, guys. So Thailand is changing. It's a visa exemption stay. Abu Dhabi is offering, interesting visa cost promotion for us, and Malaysia continues to, have that easy option for Indians. And remember, guys, the rules can change every time. So don't just rely on any videos or any reels that you see or any random Google articles. Make sure you go to their official information, embassy before you try to travel. And if you enjoyed this update, guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. And leave a comment in the comment section, guys. Stay tuned for the next update next week, guys. So I'll see you next week with another travel update for all our lovely Indians out there, also people across the globe, right? So happy traveling, safe journey. Cheers, bye bye.